6.7 Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music.
At A Gentle Touch of Care Home Health Services, Duncan's Trelawney, we believe in person-centered care. We take pride in improving the health and quality of life of all our residents. Join me, Jody Marie Bihari, Monday mornings at 8 a.m. right here on Fit FM for A Gentle Approach to a Healthier You. That's 8 a.m. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Join Fit FM weeknights at 8 p.m. for News Brief, a compilation of news stories from Trelawney and neighboring parishes provided by credible news sources, with a repeat at 10 a.m. weekday mornings. That's News Brief, weeknights at 8 p.m., with a repeat weekdays at 10 a.m. on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Are you thirsty for some good songs? Well, thirst no more. Join me, DJ Snow, weekdays from 2 p.m. till 6 p.m. on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. So let the afternoon flow with me, DJ Snow.
Let it blow, let it blow, let it blow. I'm Carlene Street, inviting you to join me every Sunday on Fit FM 96.7 for We Lickle But With Talawa, a program highlighting Jamaicans who are making significant contributions abroad and their impact on our communities. That's We Lickle But With Talawa, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. with a repeat on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
In the morning. It's exciting, sometimes romantic, and always informational. It's Love Stories on Fit FM 96.7, Thursdays 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join me, Queen G, for cutting-edge conversations and advice about love and relationships to spice up your love life. Love Stories, building healthy relationships. Don't miss it. 'Cause I am your lady.
This is Fit FM 96.7. Duncan's Trelawney.
Oh, wow. What a show by DJ Snow. What a show by my brother, DJ Snow. Always locking it down on a Thursday just before me, and I'm loving it. I love the vibe. I love the love songs that he plays. You just put me in a mood, though, Snow. Like a real love stories kind of mood. You make me want to just listen to some nice music right now. Not even talking, just vibing because it's all about love and sipping some wine. You see your Julia, so yeah, Juan. Want to say good evening to our producer Julia. Big up yourself, my darling. It's always good to see your beautiful face in the studio. Thank you very much. Want to say good evening and welcome to all our listeners. How are you all doing, my listeners on Fit FM in Trelawney and close parishes? Yeah, I know you're locking it in because it's about your life, your music. I understand that St. Kitts are locking it down via St. Kitts and Nevis, via the internet. Anguilla. Oh, wow. Trinidad. So we're all over the place. We can't, I know, we have a Nigerian friend who don't leave us alone, Ugandan friend too. So we are all over the place. Dubai, that Asia, Africa. We're all over. Don't be surprised if New Zealand, they're listening. Poland. Wow. And Hawaii. Regular. So we can't just say or Jamaican people because we are an international radio station, though we are a community and we serve the communities of Trelawney and close parishes. We do also serve our listeners. Just comment on our social media on Facebook or YouTube, or you can send us a WhatsApp message at 876-482-4944. We really want to hear from you. All right. So just before we invite our guest on, I really want to. Did you know that Bob Marley was a real, true, deep lover? You ever listen to my music? You never know. Yeah. No, it's not. No. Baby father different from. You never know that. You can't just do what you have to do and make baby. You don't have to be romantic. Turn your lights down low. And pull the window. Don't get me started, Julia. I mean, the man was a real lover. And I'm going to be reading one of his love quotes right about now for y'all. Oh, yeah. I hope I can find it. Yes, it's up. So, oh boy. All right. So, yes. We're having all kind of technical stuff this evening on my phone, but it's rectified. So here we go. You open your heart knowing that there's a chance it may be broken one day. And in opening your heart, you experience a love and joy that you never dreamed possible. You find that being vulnerable is the only way to allow your heart to feel true pleasure that's so real it scares you. You find strength in knowing you have a true friend and possibly a soulmate who will remain loyal to the end. Can you imagine? Life seems completely different, exciting, and worthwhile. Your only hope and security is in knowing that they are a part of your life. As I said before, Love Quote by the late Bob Marley. Big time lover, we talk about, romantic lover. So he was not just a revolutionary. He was everything to us in his music. He expressed himself. And so we appreciate and we will continue to ensure that his legacy, lives on through us. So we're going to be taking some music. Again, this is Queen G, and welcome to Fit FM River. You're locking it down remember, call your friends, call your family members, tell everybody that the last week, Dr. Asha called me Love Guru. I don't know if I reach anywhere near this because I'm still learning, but I'm going to accept it. She's on Big Up Yourself, Dr. Asha. So tell him that the Love Guru, Queen G, is on, and we're going to be talking about something that's affecting relationships from all stages. So we're going to take some music. Listen to me. I have a nice little lineup here. Big up to my friend Al Third from One Third. Yeah. He has a brand new song that we want to play for you, our listeners. Maybe it's the first time you're going to hear it. Who knows? It's titled Only When Close. And of course, we're going to be playing Finally Found by Crisis. Remember, Crisis was in here last week. And trust me, the review is awesome. And of course, one of my favorites, Mango by Savannah. Yeah, man, I love this song. What is that? I love you like mango. Oh, wow. We're on the track, Jules. So listen and enjoy and stick and stay.
Your eyes alone tells me your story. I need to read. You smiled and I found myself in trouble I can't relieve. You broke my defense line out of nowhere. I'm falling for you like raindrops in June. But I won't lie, everything feels like Christmas when I'm with you. All the feelings I get, it's only when close to you. All the moments I have, it's only when close to you. Totally, only when close to you.
Oh, wow. Only when close to you. Big up yourself on Third. All right. So we're going to restart the song for you. Yes, because I'm enjoying it. Only when close to you. If not, we'll move right along and play something else nicer. No, let me not do that. Anyways, how was your week? What were you up to? Did you find a new lover? I need to hear about it. Finally found. Oh, yeah. I still haven't found mine, but finally, somebody else found. I think Julia did.
I could tell you feeling me. We've got love and affection. I just love the chemistry. I love the way you give me hope like no one has ever did. Thank the Lord for this harmony, beautiful soul He blessed me with. Finally found the woman of my dream. I think I finally found the one who cared for me. Finally found the woman of my dream. I think I finally found the one who cared care for me. Yes, I did give up in the love cause I too many hurt. But ever since me meet this woman, everything I work. And the way she fit me right is like my favorite shirt. And now she keep me grounded in her. Cause I never know I had such love inside me. Well, respect you to you highly. Woman, not just the way you treat me right, the way you love me and guide me. I'm glad that you're standing beside me. Finally found the woman of my dreams. I think I finally found the one who cares for me.
Finally found. Want to big up Crisis, right? So Crisis is comprised of 3 beautiful young men. Yeah. Voices blend like wow. Big up yourselves, Natch Righteous. I'm our Shepherd and Ayasite. I know you guys are tuning in. Kevin, big up yourself. Kevin from 24/7's Music Production LLC. They are responsible for the production of this song. So wherever you are locking it down, Dr. Asha, big up yourself. I know you're on. Want to say hi to everybody who are in tune right now. So we're going back to Finally Found. Ooh, did you find the woman of your dream yet? Oh, you got to keep searching, but be intentional. Woman of my dream.
Since I've got your attention, I could tell you're feeling me. We've got love and affection. I just love the chemistry. I love the way you give me hope like no one has ever did. I thank the Lord for this harmony, beautiful soul He blessed me with. Finally found the woman of my dream. I think I finally found the one who cares for me. Finally found the woman of my dream. I think I finally found the one who cares for me. Yes, I did give up in the love cause I too many hurt. But ever since me meet this woman, everything I work. And the way she fit me right is like my favorite shirt. And now she keep me grounded in her. Cause I never know I had such love inside me. Well, respect you to you highly. Woman, not just the way you treat me right, the way you love me and guide me. I'm glad that you're standing beside me. Finally found the woman of my dream. I think I finally found the one who cares for me. Finally found woman of my dream. I think I finally found the one who cares for me. This woman, she full up of beauty and class. Compliment her on her beauty and past. I know that the outside beauty can cost, but a lifetime the inside beauty will last. I know that sex is a factor, but this woman is a woman with character. A virgin was woman was what I'm after. No victory at the verse, I side me at the chapter. Finally found the woman of my dreams. I think I finally found the one who cares for me. I finally found the woman of my dream. I think I finally found the one who cares for me.
Moving along from Finally Found to one of my all-time favorites. Oh, Mango. Come on now, baby. I like Mango.
I love you like mango. Better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine if you're nice and
96.7
Duncan Stroloni.
Imagine if somebody said, I love you like mango. You know, when you bite all a number 11 and it's sweet and juicy and nice. Oh my God. And your baby say, I love you like mango. And I might think that. I'll stick with the chatting. Make Savannah do it. Replay for me from the top.
I love you like mango. Better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Me say me love you like mango. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Tell you what I want to. Need a minute of your time. Look at me closely, coming and tell you no lie. Won't compete with no other. Where you feel like me and try. Such a sweetie skin clean, well meant to clear up your signals. Me love you like mango. Better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Me say me love you like mango. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Should I meet you first, cause the rest of them did have a waste man vibes. Can't believe how you're patient, intelligent and kind. Quick suggestion, meet me at the clock halfway 3 stoplight. Make quick jump on a bus down a town, me will show you my side. Me love you like mango, sure. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Me say me love you like mango. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice. Feeling alright, honey, I just want to say it. You mess with my mates, but in the best way. Giving me hope for the future, cause I see you there. Grateful for you, babe. So glad you care. I love you like my love. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. But say me love you like mango. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice. Imagine it feel nice. Imagine it would feel nice.
So me love you like mango. No, Julia, you sing it. I know my thing. I know my thing that. No, we can't spoil the lady's song. A big love song, that international love song. I love you like mango. Stringy mango. No, if me have to tell you something, I love you like stringy mango, it's not gonna work because I don't like stringy. It's sweet. It's sweet. Like when you get bun. Can people hear Julia up in here? So please turn on that microphone so that people know it's not me saying it. Let them know the difference in voice. Because we don't talk about bun around here. This is love stories. No, not even stringy mango. I would compare to getting bun. No. Stringy mango, because all right, it's just the front teeth as well. Yes, space. Yes. The rest of them closed. Yes. So when I'm having it, it's all up and it's annoying. Yes. And if I go,
it can be painful. Yes.
Yes. So if I'm going to be using this as a metaphor to say or whatever, I love you like mango. Mm-hmm. I mean, I compare you to stringy mango, what can be painful, can be annoying, can be. It would have mean we need counseling. We need counseling, right? Right, Sir Smith?
Oh my goodness.
It mean we need counseling. We're so pretty one. I mean, it's not just stringy alone full of worm. All kind of mango full of worm. I've had other mangoes that has worms.
And not other fruits too, like the hog plum tree down there. So the hog plum.
Let me remind you, Julia, you need to take your mind off of those plums down there.
I need to take mind off the plums.
You need to take your mind
to make
off.
sure I pick my plums, you know.
You're addicted to them.
I am.
We love you like mango, not plum. I love this song. Like seriously, the first time I heard it, I was in a bus And I said, what is she saying? And then in all the noise that was on the bus and everything, I stopped. And, sometimes you can't just put yourself in what they call this moment. You're just focusing on what it is that you want to focus on. And when I listened to it, I said, no, this have a play on love stories, a big, big love song, this. And I'm sure that a lot of our listeners enjoy this song as much as I do. Big up yourself, Savannah. All right. She have far to go. But guess what? We love you like mango and everything. And some persons finally found and some person close up and thing. But we have some issues, some relationship issues that we need to talk about. Remember, love stories is all about helping people to build healthy relationships, right? We need for y'all to live amazing lives as couples. All right. So what is happening on Dr. Asha? What is she saying? Let's hear what
Dr.
Dr.
Asha says stringy mango can't be compared to bun because it stay well in your teeth. Me here.
Yes, for
she
true.
said, well, she said she don't know.
Yeah, for real.
Yes,
That's a good point.
Yes.
So
yes.
if it's staying put, it can't
get bun.
But so never start like stringy mango.
Tell doctor to release his mic so
to release his mic?
Yes.
All right. So
unmute.
So Dr. Paul Smith,
yes,
kindly unmute your mic so that we can hear you.
That's right. We're good.
We're good?
Oh, yes.
All right. We love you like mango. Ooh. Now, come on, fight now, all this evening, tonight when I'm going to bed, that's what's going to be on my head. All right. So, as I said before, we have a lot to talk about. So, yeah, let's jump right into it. Right. So, we're going to be talking about how to deal with romantic rejection. Yeah. Do you see rejection as, and Julia can answer this since you are the person in here. You ask somebody about it, person say, I've never been rejected. Exactly. I've never been romantically rejected, but Lord have mercy, if you use common sense, you can answer. I mean, because I've been rejected otherwise, in terms of business. So I think it's the same thing. It's just that the relationship is different. All right. So do you see rejection as one of life's greatest gifts, or do you see it as just misery?
Greatest gift.
I think so too.
Greatest gift.
I think it's the greatest gift as well. Some persons can't deal with it.
Yes.
But if you tell me, listen to me, I don't know if I would be brave enough to make an advance. If I find somebody attractive and go up to them and say, what want me like, can get, I say, you do it, I don't know how that do. Well, let me talk.
Let's go back to when we were kids, teenagers, because I liked this boy when I was like 12, 13, 14. But he liked another girl, and I would do everything to make this guy like me, but he yes, giggling, the giggling, and I thought it was cute. Yes. But then
it was a turn off.
Right. And then he liked this other girl because I have to be home by a certain time. That person could be on, could be out.
Oh, so you weren't.
So no. 30 years later, oh my God, I'm saying, my goodness, thank you, Lord. Yes. Thank you for putting the stop right there.
There you go. So it's a gift in that sense.
Yes.
So it's about how you deal with it. It's about how you deal with it. So don't
January, go to your bed.
Is what January
no,
say.
No, I know she's listening.
January, you listen here. You listen that when your time comes. What is wrong with these glasses? We love you like mango. All right. So how can we deal with romantic rejection? This is what we will be talking about today. And joining me in the conversation is Dr. Paul Smith. Let me tell you something about Dr. Smith. He is a counseling psychologist who hails from the parish of Trelawney. Yeah, he is from Trelawney. And later on, I'm going to ask him where in Trelawney he's from and him good look or something there. But he is married with two children and is a people person, because if you're in psychology, then yeah. He is a practicing believer of Jesus Christ, one who embodies the philosophy, if I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. Dr. Smith attended Church Teachers College, Jamaica Theological Seminary, and the Caribbean Graduate School of Theology, and holds a diploma in teaching Spanish and need help, right? A bachelor's degree in guidance and counseling, 2 master's degrees. Where you find time for family life, Doc? One in theology and the other in counseling psychology. He's presently pursuing his doctoral degree in clinical psychology. In the past, he lectured at Bethel Bible College, Jamaica Theological.
Oops. Yes.
He is a licensed counseling psychologist as well as an associate counselor at Family Life Ministries and Choose Life International. He also has a private practice called New Life Counseling and Psychotherapy Services in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth. Big up all our St. Elizabeth people. I know that some of you are able to lock it down to Fit FM, yeah? Where he offers counseling on various issues. That's a whole lot, and I'm sure that I could say a whole lot more about Dr. Smith, right? Welcome to Fit FM, Dr. Smith.
Thank you so much. It's an awesome honor to be on. And let me say greetings to you, Queen G, and Julia. Hi.
He knows you. He knows you. He knows you. Yeah, everybody knows Julia. Yeah,
let me say hello to all those who are listening, especially those from Trelawney. Yeah.
Tell us about where you're from, where in Trelawney you're from, and which school you attended, them nice things about Trelawney.
All right. So I am from a nice farming community in Trelawney, South Trelawney, called Warsop.
Oh.
And Warsop has the nicest yellow yam ever. Right?
Yeah, so be friends for life, you know that.
Yes, so it's a nice farming community in South Trelawney. I went to Warsop all age, and I went to Knox College in Clarendon.
Right.
Yes.
Oh. So I'm guessing that the fact that you were a guidance counselor at Manchester is what brought you to that side of the world, because what we didn't tell people yet is that you are currently residing in Manchester. Do I have that right?
I'm in Manchester, yes. I'm in Mandeville.
Right. How is Mandeville? I know it's cool, but aside from that, how is Mandeville this evening?
Well, it's quite cool just now, calm. Yes, and I think a few persons are listening to us from Mandeville too. I made sure to send them the link.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. Share the link, Doc. Share the link. I want to say welcome and good evening to all our listeners from Manchester. Thanks for making it Fit FM. And remember that after this evening, this is your home. This is where you stay. All right. So you tune in every day to Fit FM. JA.com. Oh, fitfmja.com. All right. So we are about your life and about your music. So, Doc, many persons don't know how to deal with rejection. That is why I want to talk with you this evening. This is about how we can assist them, right?
Right.
For example, a person works up the courage. I was saying it to Madam Julia earlier. I was using myself as an example. So a person works up the courage to approach someone he or she finds attractive, only to be rejected. Now, before I get into all the questions that were sent to me by some of our listeners, because yes, I wanted to ensure that the questions were not just coming from me, right? But the first thing I want to ask you is this. What are some possible reasons for rejection? Because people may just think it's only negative reasons. But what are some possible reasons for rejection?
All right. So one of the reasons that the person who has rejected the other person might make an evaluation of the relationship, and there might be incompatibility. There might be incompatibility. It could be emotional. It could be spiritual. It could be financial, right? Rejection can come as early as the dating process, right? And I say to people that dating is an interview. There's no finality to it.
Amen.
I am getting to know you, right? As much as I can, right? In different settings, on different occasions. So from the outset, there should be this agreement that, hey, it might not work out. We're getting to know each other, so it might not work out, right? But already when we persons enter into dating, they put a label to it. You and I are together.
Yes.
Or Jamaican say, you and I there. That's how you go.
I get that feedback from you though, doctor.
We're there. Yeah. Right?
Yes. All right, go ahead.
And so some persons set up themselves. So
we're there? Is that what you say? Yeah. We're there or we're there?
No, we're there. Yes. The English is we're there. Yeah,
I
we're
know,
together.
right?
Yeah, we're together. Right?
Yes.
So that is one. So, one person might say, no, I don't think, we share common values. We don't share the same ideals, and sometimes some persons are afraid of, you're a nice person, it was nice to meet you. However, what comes after the however, it is quite scary, we can't be together. So that is one, right? Sometimes the person who is rejected might have some issues, some personal issues as well. Issue of low self-esteem, right? And I like what Julia said, because there are times when rejection is also a blessing in disguise, right? So the right person is waiting in the wings, right? So had you clung to that person before, then you'd have missed out on it. And I've been there.
I know.
I have been there, Yes. Yes. So that is one thing. And you might have the social pressure, because persons might enter into relationship because some say, hey, you're getting up in age now. What are you waiting on? You don't find anyone. Ready to myself, I want grandchildren now. So there's this kind of social pressure to conform. But
you must feel scared a while ago.
Yes.
You must feel scared a while ago when you say, you're getting up in age and whatever. Do you know what are we on?
But that is out there, it's out there. So some persons are pressured into relationships, but then they are not yet ready. There are some issues that they need to sort out before they give up themselves to others. And so you find that, becomes a hindrance in going forward.
And that is so true, Other persons may see somebody who is single and just feel like, you look nice, you have a nice job, you this and that. Why you don't have a man, or why you don't have a woman,
Yes.
And people don't realize that maybe you are in a healing process.
There you go.
Right, you went through something, but rather than just jump into, a rebound relationship where you would really hurt somebody else,
Yeah.
you just kick back and enjoy your singleness.
Yes, everybody has a story, and this is that hurting people hurt others, right? So I have a story you don't know, but you become judgmental, and you just look at me and say, hey, it's time that, but you don't know where I'm coming from, what's happening to me, how is it I'm repairing myself, I'm preparing myself for that which to come. You don't know, but everybody has a story.
Yes. Amen. All right. As I said before, some persons sent me some questions, and I'm going to be taking some of their questions now. All right. One person sent a message and said, why women, and obviously it's a male, why women can't see that the guy they're rejecting is or could be their soulmate?
Well, yes, that's a good question, and as a psychologist, I believe that there's also a cause and effect, And it goes back to us saying that, their person might be going through different things. And some persons have become what we call rejection sensitive. Some persons have been through a series of rejection, even as early as childhood. That is what they see, right? And so they try not to go too close to anyone, or the previous relationship might still be hurting them, right? So they tend to discolor everybody else that comes along, right? And there can be a minus to that as well, right? Because they build a wall around themselves and they detach themselves from closeness. They detach themselves from intimacy, right? Because they are still hurting, they're still reeling from past hurts. They feel as if they are not good enough for that person. It goes back to self-esteem. So a number of issues can be at play, right? But I tell clients who come to me that, after a while, after you feel that you're healed, you should also be open as well, right? Open, because when one closes oneself in a box, that brings a lot of mental health issues with it. Isolation, depression, and it's not good for the human psyche, right? So one should know that, hey, I think I'm ready to incrementally reach out. It might be on a social level, and we see where it goes. But there's a two sides to it. There are times when persons are just so sensitive that even when somebody comes along, they are pushed aside because, hey, everybody is the same. All men are the same. Yes. So we have that extremity to it as well.
I think this person should see it as a gift.
Yes.
Because you may think that the lady is running away from you, and he could be her soulmate and whatever. But as you said, your response to the earlier question, you guys may not be compatible, and the other reasons that you gave as well.
Yes.
So I hope the person is listening now, and you got your question answered. All right. So another question is, I think it's the same person is asking, why are women so easy to reject because of their past relationships?
And it goes back to the point that sometimes persons are not emotionally healed. And but interesting, a study was done, and it was said that the person was undergoing MRI. And the question that was asked, can you recall your most recent rejection? And it is said that the side of the brain that reacts to physical pain was that same side of the brain that reacted to the rejection. So rejection is deep emotional pain. It hurts. For some persons, it hurts to the core, right? So for some persons, they will not move away from that hurt, right? They refuse. And for some of them, it's like a coping mechanism. It's a way of being sheltered, right? So there are times when pain is the only release for them. Ironically, pain is the only comfort for them, right? And so they stay within that kind of sense of comfort, though painful it is. But there's this fear of launching out to be rejected by someone else. I just can't manage it. It's too much. It's too painful. How much more pain can I bear, right? And so that is a reason that some ladies, they just say, hey, I'm not going there again. It's too hurtful.
And this is why many persons may say love hurts.
Yes.
Yeah. Love, as far as I know, love can't hurt.
Can't hurt, no.
Right?
I
read it. Is it in Corinthians that it speaks about love? I read it here, right? Love can't hurt. People hurt people.
People hurt people.
People hurt people based on what they are feeling.
Yes.
Right. So and what you're feeling at the time when you're hurting someone is not love.
It's not love.
It's not
love. Doesn't hurt. People hurt people.
People hurt people. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna ask, as some persons who are communicating with us via social media, via Facebook Live, and I'm gonna ask Lady Julia just to quickly read some of those comments for me. Maybe somebody has a question.
Okay, these are some comments. I see Bev Moonchild Edwards on. She says, greetings, interesting topic. She says, persons really have to heal of a past relationship before entering a new one. Unresolved issues enter the new relationship, and that is a problem. And Dr. Asha Mwendo, she says yes, and it leaves a scar on the emotional memory.
That's why I tell people, you have to listen to Fit FM every day, because these two ladies are my sisters, my Fit FM sisters. Dr. Asha, she comes on 6 to 8 on a Wednesday, and for Healing Moments, and then Cultural Mix. Lady Bev comes on a Friday, 6 to 10. We are all about healing here. No wonder we are called Fit. So they will always know the answers to these questions as well. We are psychologists who not go to school. Well, I don't know about the rest, but I personally, I'm learning from Dr. Asha. But we are in school. I'm in school right now in the studio of Fit FM because I'm learning from Dr. Smith. You understand? So we have to tune in to Fit FM every day. So from a family perspective, from an individual perspective, from a romantic perspective, we have the answers here. So listen, every day tune in to Fit FM, because if you have problems, we help you solve them. We start with exercises in the morning, come right down. Yeah, so we have Doc on right now talking about how to overcome rejection, romantic rejection, how to deal with it. All right. So I think I have another question here from someone else. Yes. Want to say welcome to all the persons who are just tuning in. You're in tune to Love Stories with Queen G. And of course, we're talking about how to deal with romantic rejection. And we have Dr. Paul Smith on. He is a counseling psychologist, and he's assisting us this evening. Before the day ends, we're going to know how to deal with it. We're talking about now the causes, right? The reasons why people reject people. And we're also going to be talking about how the rejecter feels. So keep in tune, all right? All right, so here we go with another question. This one says, how do I let go of someone who has rejected me, knowing how I really feel about the person, or know how much I truly love this person? I know that you might have answered this question before, but for the sake of the person who may be listening for the specific question to be read and for the answer, I really want to throw this one at you, Doc. If you want, I can read it again. It says, how do I let go of someone who has rejected me, knowing how I really feel about that person, or know how much I truly love this person?
That's a good question. And a number of persons find themselves in that position. I've had a number of clients too who have been physically abused, emotionally abused, and that is a sign of rejection as well, right? And though they have been abused over and over, and the writing is on the wall that the relationship is done, it's finished, mash up, right? Null and void. They keep holding on to it, right? And some persons will hold on because they say, guess what? If I let this go, I might not find anything close to what I have, right? And so some persons have a false perception of what love is, and you might often hear persons say, the victim say that, boy, it is my fault why he hit me, right? He didn't mean it. I provoked him. And so they try to kind of explain it away, right? But some persons, they believe that, boy, I caused it, so probably if I apologize, within that romantic relationship, he'll forgive me. If I walk out of the relationship, they might laugh at me. Persons in the community think I'm an upstanding person. They see my relationship has been exemplary. So they keep holding on to something that does not exist, right? It also comes back to low self-esteem, right? That they're not able to take themselves out of the gut and say, no, I deserve much better than this, right? I am more valued than this. I am much more important than this, right? So a number of factors start to interplay, in this particular scenario, right? But the writing is on the wall, and when they do that, there can be some other issues at play. You know, issues of insecurity, right? Insecurity could be another problem, right? The person, they might find that only that person defines who they are. So they don't have a self-definition as to who they are, right? They are defined by that relationship, whether or not it is positive or negative, that is what defines them, right? And then there's also the fear of letting go, right? The fear of starting over. I have known this person for the past 20 years. I don't think I have the time to go and know somebody all over again for another 20 years. And so they hold on to that which they know, right? Though painful it is, though they are rejected, they hold on to it, right? Because it's the closest thing ever. It's a number of issues, mental, psychological, emotional issues are at play why some persons still hold on, though they know that the other person does not share mutual feeling towards them.
And there is another set of persons who can't live alone. A lot of persons, when I say that, you know, when people ask me questions and I say, you know, I live alone, boy, me couldn't do that, you know, because so and so and so and so. And I'm like, I don't know. I enjoy my own company so much. Sometimes my neighbors must be wondering if I'm crazy because I'll be there watching something or reading something, and if I find it funny, I laugh out loudly. People may think I'm there with company and stuff, but there are some persons who really can't do it.
Yeah.
And so even if they're rejected in the relationship, as
you want to stay alone,
they don't want to be alone, so they prefer to remain and suffer.
They remain and suffer. And many times they suffer in silence. Yeah. So there's nobody to reach out to them, no one to help them. And that's a way that is painful to suffer. You suffer alone, you suffer in silence. Sometimes you put on a facade, you put on a smile that doesn't really belong, but you're really, really suffering. But guess what? You don't want to be alone again. Don't want to be alone ever. So I'm holding on to him.
Oh, wow. Yeah. All right. Another one. And I find this one interesting. And it may be a common one. It says, for 6 months, I dated this young man. Yes. We finally decided to have sex. Everything seemed fine during the whole ordeal. He never called me after we parted. So I called him. He never answered. I kept calling him. Oh, my God. No answer. I feel rejected and is having a low esteem. How can I get over this? This is so painful.
Yes, it is. You know what is interesting what that person said? The person said, I feel. So the person is tapping to the emotion. That is how I feel. I feel rejected, right? And that person is also taking responsibility for how he or she feels, justifiable or not. But this is how I am feeling. I am feeling hurt. I am feeling rejected. I am feeling angry, right? So the person has actually owned or labeled the emotion. I will talk about that in later to come, because that is one way of kind of dealing with it. You have to admit that this is how I am feeling. There's no sense dancing around the bush. This is how I am feeling. I am feeling vulnerable. I am feeling psychologically naked. Yeah, that is how I'm feeling. So yes, and so what I tell persons, you know, is that sex is not love. It's an important part of the relationship, but we are not to say that because we have sex, we love each other. Sex can mean different things to different people at different times, right? And so chances are that guy just wanted a fling. He just wanted a thing, right? And I say to people that men are attracted by what they see. The woman will interpret that act as a sign of love because her emotional being is now tied up in it. But and I say to person, look at this example, that there can be this couple and the man becomes abusive to the woman, call her all kind of names, derogatory names, skettle, all kind of things, and degrades her, right? And a few seconds after, wants to make love to her, wants to have sex with her, because he's able to divorce that which happened and just say, let's get on with it. The woman, on the other hand, she is emotionally scarred. She is damaged, right? And is just not in that mood because you just rejected me. You just call me the most derogatory terms. How then can you now turn around and you want me, right? So the motive can be different. So the woman might be seeking for that love, that affection, that belongingness, but the gentleman might just have other motives. And so after he gets what he wants, he moves on.
So one of our commenters, Dr. Asha, is saying, well, she's stressing on this. She's saying she also calls sex an act, sex act an ordeal.
Yes.
You know, that is what she said in the message to me, in the question.
Yes. I tend to take people beyond just calling the act of sex. I promote making love because the emotions are in it. There is connection. There's connectivity.
But that was just sex, though, Doc.
Pardon me?
That was just sex, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was just sex. That was just an act of sex. It's an ordeal. And so the gentleman moves on. Right? So the woman might want to make, she has another motive. She wanted intimacy. She wanted closeness. But for the gentleman, and the whole thing was just an act. So he moves on.
Well, let's flip the coin, though. Have you ever heard of a situation where a man was in a similar situation? I mean, like he wanted to be with the woman. They probably made love, as you said, and he doesn't hear back from her. What's the difference with how they share their emotion?
I've had male clients who have come to me and they break down. They are so emotionally hurt, and the space is provided for them to feel safe and vulnerable. And I've had clients who have come to me, male clients, and they say, Doc, trust me, I am hurt. It's as if someone stabbed me in the back. This is how I feel. I trusted her. I loved her. I needed her. At the end of the day, I thought you were getting somewhere, and I'm left hanging dry. Right? I've had those. I've had others who tend to use the ego and cover up the pain. I say, go, man a wall, you can move on, And what I also find with some of the men and women too, is that, as I said, there's always a cause and effect. And so I talk to persons who have cheated on their partners, right? And one thing I realized from some of them, it says that if this relationship doesn't work, then the one that is in train, I'll cushion that one. Because if it doesn't work, I don't want to be left alone, right? So it's as if someone has been prone to take over should this relationship fail. And for some of them, that is how they tend to kind of prepare for any possible disaster, any possible rejection.
But with that mindset, I foresee rejection, because if you are thinking about it so much so that you're making plans, contingency plans, then there's nothing that will save that relationship as far as I'm concerned, because that's where your mental faculty is.
So you're trying to hide the reality or escape from the reality of rejection. So already it's something that is in your mindset, and you would not have dealt with the issue, right? You're trying to cushion yourself, but mentally the issue is not being dealt with, because rejection is always at the forefront of your mind. Yeah, some men have gone through it, women have gone through it. So it goes across both sexes.
Why I reversed the question is that many times when we speak about relationship, especially with regards to relationship issues, most persons tend to think about how the women feel. It so happens that last week we had 3 young men in here speaking about how men feel. Because a lot of times, based on how we're cultured, males are not expected to express
the emotions.
Emotions if they are sad emotions. Maybe what they're expected to express is like anger.
That's how we are cultured, yes.
Right. Tom down woman or talk to her in an abusive manner, or them with you can't make the woman talk to you. Can't make she deal with them with it. That's how
and I'm with the pants, I'm the man.
Exactly. So anger is what is expected from them, and not an expression of sadness, or as you said, to speak about how I feel.
I feel, yes. I feel, yes. Right? And that is so true. So culture has kind of torture, the emotion. So, but as I said, I had a client the other day, and the young lady left him, and he could not work. He was sent on leave, couldn't concentrate. To him, he said the lady meant his world, right? And he bawled for the first half an hour of the session. He was here crying. I was handing tissue to him, Kleenex. I was giving it to him, and he was bawling, right? So you have those kind of men who are in touch with their emotion. And as you said, you have others who are victims of our culture, right? And so sometimes they go to the next level, in domestic abuse and killing the spouse because, they do not have a healthy way of coming to grips with how they're feeling, right? So they resort to anger, they resort to violence, right? And sometimes this thing is wrapped up in domestic abuse as well.
All right. As I said earlier, one of the questions I have for you is, do you think the rejecter feels bad for hurting the other person? We want to speak about the possible state of mind.
Some do. Some do, right? And for some, the writing is on the wall and they contemplate, how will I break the news to her? How will I break the news to him? If I tell him, he might have a nervous breakdown. If I tell her, she might have a nervous breakdown. I know how she thinks. I know how he thinks. How do I break it? So, so some person actually think of it. Some person would have done it and they recant, they go back because they say, no, I am thinking of the person. So it happens as well, right? But there are some persons who, hey, it's finished and that's it, let's move on. But there are others who we call emotionally intelligent, right? They tend to think of the other person as well. And how they break it too, right? So some persons might even decide, by what medium will I say it? Will I send that text message that it's over? Will I meet you at dinner and say, hey, A, B, and C, but it's over? Or will I just call and say, guess what? Leave me alone. I'm done, right? So the emotional intelligence will guide you and guard how it is said, right? But at the end of the day, you still want to be caring and you consider the person's emotion just as well. Yes.
But do you think the person, as you're saying about how it is done, do you think it makes a difference whether or not the person is invited out to a formal setting, or you just say, you know what, we don't want you, or you don't, or you send a text message, or does it make a difference how the person feels?
It boils down to the pain, but based on how it is done, sometimes it adds to it. At times, right? But at the end of the day, you're left to deal with the pain, right? But you might still sense that the person, still cares. It's, after evaluation, it's not going to work out between us, but I still care for you, right? So our relationship was just not totally null and void. I appreciate you. There are some good ways about you. You're kind, you're compassionate. You would make me laugh, but then there are other things that just could not sustain the relationship.
We can be friends, but we shouldn't be in a relationship, but we can be friends.
Well, we can be friends, and especially in that case where children might be involved as well, whether they are married or are not married, But then there comes a time when you say, all right, the relationship is over, but guess what? Let's still be cordial with each other. That sometimes that is easier said than done. Right? But it still is what is required.
Okay.
Because sometimes when the relationship ends in animosity, it brings more pain as well.
Right. Oh, a lot said. If you're just joining, welcome to Fit FM. This is Love Stories with Queen G. And of course, we're talking about how to deal with rejection. We have with us our able speaker this evening, Dr. Paul Smith, and he is a counseling psychologist. Guess what? We're going to be taking a break, right? Play some music, reset my mind, and then we come right back to the discussion, all right? So don't move a muscle. We're not done yet. So call up your friends, tell them to join in because we're coming right back to it. Here we go.
Baby, why you play games in my heartstring? You've been giving me the cold shoulder. Am I no longer your king? Girl, tell me straight now, but I beat from the bush. Cause if you give up, then I don't wanna push. Don't walk away, tell me what's on your mind. Break my heart, it's fine. You know I'd do anything for you. I put a ring on you. But you don't love me the same. You don't love me the same. Girl, if you know that you have lost the feeling, let me go and do my thing. If you know that I am wasting my time, let me fall. I learn to fly. Don't worry about me, baby. I know I'm not crazy, but you've been acting strange lately. I don't need to know the whole story. You don't even have to say sorry. Just tell me straight, don't beat from the bush. And if you give up, then I don't wanna push. Don't walk away, tell me what's on your mind. Break my heart this time. You know I'd do anything for you. I put a ring on you. But you don't love me the same. You don't love me the same. Cause you know that you have lost the feeling. Let me go and do my thing. If you know that I am wasting my time, let me fall into the light, baby. You know me much better than anybody.
Oh my God, we have some listeners. It's not easy, you know. But then I take nothing for granted, right? Everything has a meaning for me, and everything is important. Want to big up DJ Snow, our colleague here of Fit FM. I come on right after DJ Snow on a Thursday. Now he's in tune to Love Stories, and he's listening, and he has a question. Lady Jules, what is a question that DJ Snow has?
Okay, Snow. Okay, Snow Cone. Here we go. I live alone too. I don't let him laugh. It says, I have a question. Do you believe in love at first sight? Snow, we have to no, we want to hear the story. So Snow wants to find out, do you believe in love at first sight?
Is Doc?
Yeah,
it's Doc. It's not me who answer the question.
Okay,
he is the relationship expert here. I only facilitate. So Doc, the man lives alone. Our own DJ Snow, he says he lives alone, and he's asking if you believe in love at first sight.
Something happened in his life recently.
Recently?
Snow?
Well, it can't be good or bad. Let's see what Doc says.
All right, so I believe that there are stages, and I believe at the first stage there is attraction, right? And sometimes persons believe that the attraction is love, but I think that love grows. You need to know the person, the feeling intensifies. So if I were to answer you, I cautiously say no. It is something that starts somewhere and it mushrooms into love, right? Because there are some qualities that love has, right? That you would not get from the onset, but it is deep attraction, you know, and you might be attracted to someone and you say, yes, let me explore it. right? Because you might be attracted to someone and it doesn't end up into a relationship. You might be attracted to someone and you get a time to know, and the love grows, the love is nurtured, the love blooms, it grows, it becomes strong. And then you can say, yes, from the first time I met you, I felt something. I felt a feeling that I've never felt before, right? But I mean, that love ought to grow, it must nourish. And it starts with a deep attraction.
And for the person who aren't able for the persons who aren't able to see Doc, I want you to know, Doc is very much in love, because based on his expression, his language, and everything, I know that Doc is in love. And good evening and big up to Mrs. Smith. I mean,
yes.
Wow.
Oh, yes. We've been married for 21 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And that love has grown.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your experience plus your education, your what you call it, your practice, equip you for what we're talking about.
Yes.
Relationship, about counseling, about psychology. So I believe that even if we study about something, once we have experience,
Sure.
then we have authority.
Yes.
I do believe that. Anyways, DJ Snow, did you get your answer? He says thanks. But I want to know further into it though, because I may have to bring in Snow one of these evenings to find out how all of a sudden he's living alone, but he wants to find out if Doc believe in love at first sight. I wonder if him
want to find out if it mushroom.
If it mushroom.
Want to find out where Snow, we talk later.
You're just up in the young man business, Sir Julia. Oh my God. All right. So we were talking about how persons may deliver the message when they, are rejecting. It's a tough word to use,
yes,
but it's what it is. You
Yes.
you may be letting down the person easy, but it is rejection.
It's rejection.
Right. Some persons actually feel like they are being attacked or they are being wronged. What advice do you have for these persons who feel like there are some persons who will, as you say, if a person is rejecting me and take me out to dinner and sit me down out of respect and explain to me the situation, why I'm being rejected, I will understand. And as we were saying earlier, I will see it as a gift. Not everybody can, but we are all human beings. So immediately I may not see it as a gift. But the fact that you respect me enough to have the conversation rather than just send me a text message or just call me and say, you know what, I don't want you or what have you. With them kind of something there will make you go jail. Sorry, but it's true. The way how you deal with the situation. But if you feel attacked or wronged, how can you deal with that?
If you feel attacked or wronged.
Right. In when the person is rejecting whatever your offering is, I mean, like maybe it is done in a particular way, just like the situation when you say the person is, I don't want you or whatever. It depends on how you come across with it, how it is expressed.
Sure.
So if I feel like I'm being attacked or being wronged, because it could be that we're already in an established relationship. This may not be just me approaching somebody who I find attractive. So it all depends on the stage in the relationship and how you feel when you're being rejected. You can feel attacked or you can feel wronged.
Yes. And there are persons who, when they feel attacked, they launch an attack as well.
There you go.
They launch an attack, or they try to get even, or they try to escalate the situation. So I would advise persons, if you feel that you're under attack in the moment, however, the information disseminated to you, the person is angry, there might be this sense that the rejection is so deep, so I'm going to get angry too. There might be physical altercation. There can be so many other things. So the best thing is that if you feel as if the wound is so deep at the time, I would advise persons not to kind of get even or deal with it at the time. Or there might be another case where both persons might be calm and can, not to say try to resolve it, but try to end it in a more amicable situation. But I've had persons who, based on how it is done, right, we are naturally defensive, right? And so their person will put up a defense mechanism, get even, you know, and try to do some other things. But I encourage person not to fight fire with fire.
Right. Oh boy, as you rightfully say, how you feel at the time.
At the time, it's important. At the time.
And oh boy. All right.
Yes.
So I've lost something here. I need to take another break. So oh wow. I'm having some technical issues right now with my gadget and so forth. So we're gonna be taking another break, fix this, and come right back.
Anything for you, you know that. But you don't love me the same. Tell me, why you play games with my heart, baby? Why you play games with my heartstring? You've been giving me the cold shoulder. Am I no longer your king? Girl, tell me straight now, but I beat from the bush. Cause if you give up, then I don't wanna push. Don't walk away, tell me what's on your mind. Break my heart, it's fine. You know I'd do anything for you. I put a ring on you. But you don't love me the same. You don't love me the same.
All right, so we've sorted it out, and I'm back. All right, so another question from one of our listeners is it natural for me to hide my true feelings for someone if I have been romantically rejected in the past?
Yes, that happens. That happens. Yes, it's a natural reaction, right? And also it depends on what you choose to do. But it's a natural reaction. And nothing is inherently wrong with that as well. Right? Many persons would have gone through that stage, you know, would have lived to tell the tale to the person when they eventually get together. Yeah, but it happens.
But should we deprive ourselves from experiencing love, that joy that can come with a relationship? Should we deprive ourselves just because somebody rejected us? Yeah, we might have been in love with the person, but shouldn't we try to heal ourselves and you know, embrace?
Of course, healing is important, right? Healing is important, and as I said before, there are persons who become so rejection sensitive that even when love is staring them in the face, they're not ready, right? They don't believe that it is because of the past experiences. And so there are persons who actually deprive themselves, you know, of being loved. Everybody deserves to be loved, to be appreciated, you know. But there are persons who, if you find that you're not healing, I advise persons to seek professional help. Because whether or not you want to enter into a relationship, healing is important. It's wholesome. It is a thing to do, right? And when you are hurting, it can eat away at your emotion like a cancer, right? So even to save yourself, to preserve yourself, emotional healing is extremely important. And if you're not healed emotionally, it creeps into every other facet of who you are. So it creeps into the social one, into the familial one, right? So at the baseline, healing is important for you, right? For you. Because you can't give what you don't have. If you have hurt, that's what you're going to give. If you have baggage, that's what you'll pass on. If you have love, I'll pass it on. Right? So you can't give what you don't have. So healing is very, very important. There are some persons, because they are not healed, they live in a prison, and you know, they refuse to date, they refuse to talk to anyone, and then it becomes unfair to oneself.
Oh boy. I mean, I can understand it. As I said before, I've never been romantically rejected, but I think I was sharing with you, Doc, that when I just started doing sales, started doing media sales, and when I went out there and people would say no when I pitch sale to them. And it's not just about saying no, the way in which they said it, it drives this fear into you. And if sometimes I read something yesterday that says it is because of debt, financial debt, why we probably push ourselves. Maybe if I was not in financial debt at the time, I would have given up on sales, because I think rejection across the board is terrible. It is a terrible thing. It can be a gift if you understand how to handle it.
Yes.
Right, but I think it is my experience from those days of doing media sales and being rejected numerous times, and then, as I said before, when I made my first sale, that is what motivated me to continue. And then it's a good thing I decided to continue, and it comes back to the person healing themselves, because it is after I decided to continue, some of those same persons who rejected me in the past, they became some of my top clients. Yeah, because I didn't just crawl up in a shell and decided that, you know what? No, this is not for me, because boy, it hurt. It hurts bad, especially if somebody say, you just show up on my place this time of the day, my businessman, and yada yada yada, give it to you, and especially in public. Other persons are there hearing you, and you feel like, as you said, as we were talking about the attack, you feel like you want to do them something as well. You want to,
want to do them something,
You want to do them something. So, rejection right across the board is something that we need to learn how to deal with. Because, boy, from a psychological point of view, I can't just imagine the romantic rejection.
But I say to you, Queen G, that even apart from the ending of a relationship, persons are really in relationship and might make a sexual advance to the other party, and the other party is not in the mood. And might turn, that's rejection,
That's rejection.
That's rejection, And so it takes communication, right? The person might say, I'm not feeling too well tonight. I appreciate the fact that you still find me attractive. But honestly, I'm just not feeling well. Can we, So, but just check my back. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I'm tired. So how it is done becomes important, but it's important to communicate effectively, because persons can be in a relationship and feel rejected, right? So one person might want to take the other out on a date, even in a marital relationship, and the person say, no, I'm not up to it tonight, and the person feels rejected. I might be at work and my partner calls me and I say, I can't talk to you now, later. And I feel rejected. Why can't he not talk to me? He or she's talking to the co-workers. So what is wrong with me? So it has different yes. So issues come up. And they start to compare how, the one person, I treat the parents as opposed to me. I feel as if I'm second class. You don't listen to me. You don't take me out. You don't take chocolate for me. You don't take flour for me. So it comes in so many other ways, rejection as well.
What are some of the signs of fear of rejection in an established relationship? As you said, there are so many persons who are so accustomed to be rejected that they even plan, as we said before, the contingency plan just in case it happens. What are some of the signs of fear of rejection in an established relationship?
Avoidance. You avoid any relationship, every relationship. You become a loner, right? There are persons who also move to the other extreme of being clingy. Being clingy. And even the relationship is not healthy, they still cling on to it because of the fear of being rejected outrightly, right? There are persons who say, I will never have anything to do with relationship. I just believe that people are just untrue. Every woman is like this. Every man is like this. Some of them have perpetual anger. Whenever the issue of relationship comes up, there's an outburst. And you find that something emotional is happening, right? They might go around and discourage everybody else from having relationship because of what happens to them, right? And so they might even try to pry in other person's relationship too, right? Because if other persons can't be happy, then if I can't be happy, then other persons should not be happy, right? And some persons become obsessive, some become jealous, Some become controlling. They try to control their children's lives as well, and try to live their life to their children's life. So all of these are some manifestation. The issue of low self-esteem, comes up. This person comes and she has crushed my self-esteem. I feel as if I'm nothing. I feel worthless. I feel like I'm nobody, right? And that is how they tend to define themselves based on how this person has treated me, treated him, treated her.
So it becomes an obsession.
It becomes an obsession. So even you know that the relationship is just not worth it, you're obsessed just by not being alone, being with the person at any cost, right?
This is dangerous.
It is dangerous. It is very, very damaging, right? I can't get out of this relationship because of the children. What will the church say? What will my family say? What will my in-laws say? What will my co-workers say? Right? And so they stay in it, they cling on to it, they make biscuit out of it, as crushed as it is. They're abused, they're rejected, they're tossed aside, but obsession takes over and they become unhealthy in that kind of relationship. So they say it's either this or nothing at all. So it's from one extreme to the next. There are persons who will be anti-relationship, and there are persons who will become obsessive, right? So depending on swings both ways.
But yet there are some persons who are able to handle it gracefully.
Yes,
what causes, as you say, one extreme to another. So this is another extreme because but how can persons handle it gracefully though, Doc?
You know that there are persons who, and I say to persons that even before you enter into a relationship, you need to know who you are. Who am I? You need to be able to love yourself and value yourself. So when you are crushed, you might have an impact, but you're able to stand because this is who I am. I am a person of value. I am loving. I'm lovable. I'm important. I am purpose-driven. I am purposeful, right? If you and I didn't work out, then some person have a positive attitude. Huh? So if it didn't work out, then something must be better. Right. A better relationship must be out there. When life throws lemon at you, I'm going to make lemon juice, right? So your approach, your resilient skill. So some persons are resilient. They have healthy self-esteem, and others don't define who they are. A relationship doesn't necessarily define who they are. So outside of the relationship, they still stand, right? So you have those kind of persons who just believe that, hey, I am not going to stand for rejection. I'm going to move along because I don't deserve it. I'm not going to accept it. This is not who I am. I am better than this. So you have those who are in the middle as well, at the center, right, of it, right? So you have those who are anti, those who are obsessed, and you have those in the middle, in the center, who will say, guess what? Probably it was not meant to be. Probably it's a blessing in disguise, and they're able to do positive self-talk and get themselves out of it. But at the end of it, they would have had a healthy, view, a healthy concept as to who they are. Because some persons are only defined by others. And when those persons remove themselves, what is left? Who is left?
Who is left?
Yeah.
So for the persons who value themselves, they're able to deal with it. Yes, right. But for the persons who really feel hurt and constantly experience rejection and handle it badly, what steps can they now start to take? Because at some point you can be transformed. What steps can they take to transform themselves personally?
All right. Stop the self-blaming. There are persons who perpetually blame themselves. It's my fault. I think I did this, and they blame themselves. Everybody's rejecting it. Must be my fault. I think I'm just the worst lover. I am the worst company. and then they blame themselves and they put themselves in a box of self-pity, and it destroys them. So I say to persons, uplift yourself, look in the mirror. Who am I? Minus the relationship, minus the rejection, I am still important. Speak to yourself, affirm yourself. Surround yourself with persons who are supportive, right? So isolation might not be the best measure, right? But you might have some friends who are supportive. They might not be able to resolve the issue, but the presence is there, right? The affirmation is there. The hug is there. The empathy is there. Let me hold your hand. I have your back. You will get through this. We can get through this together. That support system becomes extremely important. So rebuild self-esteem, tell yourself who you are, affirm yourself. I am handsome. I am beautiful. I am talented. Greatness lies within me. My better days are yet ahead. I want to smile. I'm going to be happy. I choose to be happy, not because of, but in spite of. I'm going to be the best version of myself. I'm going to rise from the ashes like the phoenix, and I'm going to soar. I'm going to redefine who I am if I've lost it. I want back me, right? So all of these things are important, right? Rising above the rejection. Yes.
And some persons transform themselves, and they start to live well, and as a matter of fact, they level up their lifestyle and maybe get a nice little job, start to look fresh.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, no. And this just came to me. All of a sudden, the person who rejected you, they now see you and wants to be a part of your life. And I'm sure persons out there experiencing that. What should they do? Should they take back that person? Should they consider the person? What would be your advice to the person?
Not something you jump back into. Not something you jump into. Motive becomes important. And if the person could not accept you before you were able to build yourself, it says something about the appreciation, right? But then that I have this, do I still deserve your love? If it's a case where I was too fat, and when the relationship was broken, I lost weight, and you're suddenly coming back, then what if I get fat again?
Yes.
Will I be rejected? Yeah. So it has got to be something deeper than that. So I do not advise person that when the relationship is ended and things start to progress for that person, the other person say, come back to me. No, because from the very beginning, there are things that have not been resolved. The things were never resolved, right? So I don't advise persons to just jump back into it. No, not blindly like that at all.
Right. But just to move away from rejection a bit, Doc, since I have you on here as a counseling psychologist, there are many persons out there experiencing mental health in one way, shape, or form. Depression because of financial reasons, because of rejection again, because of many other reasons. Some of them are listening to us this evening. What can you say to them to help them to start transforming themselves again?
And yes, you're on point, because there are many persons going around right now. They have deep mental health issues, deep depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and sometimes based on how the relationship played itself out, whether it was physical or emotional abuse or sexual abuse. There are persons who go to post-traumatic stress disorder. There are persons who have anxiety attack, anxiety disorder, right? There are persons who end up having psychosis, having hallucination and delusion. And you see them sometimes, and you'd never be able to tell what they're going through, right? But when they go in and the walls surround them, they cry themselves to sleep. They can't sleep. I am saying to persons that if you find yourself in that position, reach out. Reach out to someone that you trust. Reach out to a professional. be able to talk what you're feeling, because so many persons have things just bottled up inside, and it eats at them, it kills them emotionally. Find an outlet to just take it out, to let it out, breathe, right? Self-care becomes important. Look after yourself, man. Get a nice hairdo, get a nice facial, or a hand shal, or a foot shal, and treat yourself and say, yeah, man, I am alive. I'm still here. I'm still breathing. You know, find some energy to move on. You know, that becomes important. If you can't do it alone, find someone who can help you. Find a professional who can sit and just pour out everything. I think, so I'm feeling, I am broken, I am damaged, and I need help.
Need help.
That becomes important.
Speaking of reaching out for help, how can persons find you, Doc?
All right. Yeah, so I as was said before, I'm on LinkedIn, and a number of persons get me through that medium as well. Right.
That's how I found you.
Yes. So I have a number of overseas clients who have reached out to me through that. So that's one way. And of course, I have a practice in Mandeville and one in Santa Cruz, you know, and I can be reached at any of them. So I if I leave the number with you, or I can say it.
You can say your number.
All right, so my number is 876-543-0377. And as time goes by, I think I'm on Facebook as well, right? So you and I had a talk sometime, and I'll be expanding the horizon, you know, but yeah, that's how I can be reached just now.
So if they type in Paul Smith can...
If they type in Paul Smith, they'll find me. They'll find me, they'll find Paul Smith Psychologist.
Okay.
And they'll see my opening hours, where I'm located, all of that information.
Oh, wow. I thoroughly enjoyed our communication this evening and our conversation this evening, and I have learned a lot. I didn't even realize how deeply some persons are troubled by, you know, romantic rejection.
Yes.
You see, until you are in a situation, you really don't know. But just hearing you speak about, you know, how persons deal with it, it makes me want to ensure that I prevent it.
Yeah.
but how can I do that? I mean, it's about how I deal with it if it should happen.
Yes.
That's what I should be aspiring to do. But Doc, it was really a pleasure having you on. What parting shot do you want to leave with us? Because we all have mental issues, we all have romantic problems, we all have relationship problems. It may not be rejection, as I said before, but something, whatever comes to your heart this evening that you want to, you know, encourage us about, feel free.
I say to persons who feel rejected, love yourself, appreciate who you are. You are unique. Mm-hmm. You're wonderful. You're awesome. You are purposeful. And just remind yourself of that. Love is beautiful. Love is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful feeling. When I used to go to high school, I used to say, love is a feeling you feel when you feel the feeling I've never felt before. It's beautiful. But I say to persons, even those who are not in romantic relationship, learn to know who you are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Learn to love yourself. Enjoy your company, your own company. Yeah? Live with you. Learn to accept your faults and your weaknesses. That's who you are. You know, and if you're hurting, just say, this is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling rejected. And at the end of it, find that resilience that is within you, which is within you. And say, guess what? I'm going to rise. I'm going to smile again. I'm going to dance again. I'm going to be me again. I'm going to wheel and come again. Right? I am going to go up there. So just love yourself. Appreciate yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Paul Smith, counseling psychologist. Thank you very much for being our guest this evening. Thanks for helping us to understand how to deal with rejection. And trust me, people, he's coming back. He is coming back. I'm not sure yet why he's coming back, but I can tell you he's coming back because this show is about relationship. It's about, dealing with issues in relationships so that you can start to build your healthy relationship. And even if you're already building one, we share pointers to help you to level up, to escalate, to be better, to live amazing lives. That's all I want to do, to help people to live amazing, help people to be happy. That is why I do this show. And that is why I bring people like Dr. Paul Smith on so that we can share with you. And remember, if you have an issue, whichever Thursday we are on, feel free to join us. Send us a message, because even if we can't deal with it on that show, I can bring on Dr. Smith and say, listen, doc, this person has this problem. Come, let's go on Love Stories one Thursday and deal with the issue, because usually it is not a unique issue. These issues are common issues. And so when one person sends in the question, we respond to millions.
Yes,
right?
definitely.
But
yes.
if we can help one person,
yes,
then our job would not be in vain. All right.
Awesome.
So I think we have a question, Doc, just before you go.
Not really a question, but a comment that Dr. Asher made, and maybe Doc could expand on that too. Dr. Asher said yesterday she had to help a mother of 3 who became suicidal because the man walked out on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
That's how deep it gets, Julia. It gets very, very deep. There are times when we tend not to know what is happening in somebody's life. And when they commit suicide, we wonder what would have driven them to that. But these are some of the issues that persons are dealing with. Do not have an outlet. Do not have a good support system. And everybody they talk to tends to judge them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they deal with it the way they think they ought to deal with it. They become suicidal. They become homicidal. And so many things. Deep mental health issues because of rejection. It runs deep. It runs deep.
And that is why we have to do this show, to help these people. Because some of us have no idea. Dr. Asher spoke about the love cup the other day. We don't know what is in the love cup. Right. You know about the love cup, Doc?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know what's in the love cup, but I never know about the love cup. And this is why I love to listen to my colleagues, because I learn a lot.
Yes.
She spoke about it, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Yes. So whatever is in your love cup, whether it is bad experience from you were a child until you carry it into adulthood. And as you said, a lot of persons judge our actions and they do not know what we feel.
Don't know. Yeah.
They don't know what we feel. But this is why I encourage, and I keep repeating it, this is why I encourage people to tune in to Fit FM, because we do have people who care. And so we speak about healing. We find means and ways to present ways that you can heal yourself. It may sound easy, it's not. But by listening to us, we repeat it every day. And as you said, affirmation. If you repeat these things, then eventually you find yourself transforming.
Oh yes. My final word, you see, Queen G.
I don't think that final word yet tonight. Because somebody else has sent a comment.
You talk about affirmation, because what we think affects how we feel, and how we feel affects how we behave. So if you want to change things around, change how you think.
You know what I use? I use journal in the morning, in the evening. So I write down how I'm feeling.
Yes.
I use affirmations to reflect that. So if I'm feeling sad, then I change how I feel by saying, listen, today I'm committed to be happy no matter what. And wherever I go today, I will spread joy, because it's not just me. And I write these things down, and sometimes I reread them, because there are times when I may be so down that I don't feel like writing anything, but then I go
Or
back to my journal and I
yes,
read, so
awesome,
maybe this can help somebody else who has not
awesome.
yet
And it is
started.
therapy for a lot of persons.
It is.
It is therapy for a lot of persons.
It
Yeah.
is. It
Yes.
is.
Yes.
Let me share this with you, Doc, with a listener. Like Doc said, love yourself. Some partners love others more than they love themselves, and when they lose that person, it feels as if all is lost. Wow. Wow.
Awesome point, listener. Awesome point. I agree with you so much. Yes. Yeah. So when they lose that person, they are left with nothing. Absolutely. That's an empty shell. That's what they become. Love yourself is important. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I mean, like, yes, we need to. I think we have a WhatsApp voice note here from another listener. We're going to be playing it. Here we go.
I was thinking about how to get people who are on the extreme into that middle ground that Dr. Smith talked about. And it's such great advice that he just gave about how to get to that place. All the affirmation that you need to say to yourself. This is a very interesting program. And unfortunately, a lot of us who really need to hear it are not listening this evening. So the question now becomes, how do we get people that we know could benefit from this on this page and get them this information? I'm thinking about some community outreach. My mind is going a mile a minute as I'm listening to this. This is serious stuff. This is great stuff. And so grateful to Dr. G for raising this topic this evening. Wonderful, wonderful program. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Carlene. Thank you for your voice note. Very important. And something that you said, I think our Dr. Asha has a foundation through which she's trying to help others to heal themselves, and not just from a romantic point of view, but from an individual point of view, from a family point of view. And I'm sure that Dr. Smith also has his foundation LARM,
Yes.
right? And but as Carlene says, we probably need to speak about it more often, because many persons really don't know. You see, when you're in the situation, you don't know where to turn.
Yes. Yes.
You don't know where to turn. And some persons feel that maybe from a financial point of view, you have to pay, X amount of money to get help, when we do have our government clinics that I think offer these services. But yeah, how you can tell us about this, Doc? How can persons who need help reach out if they can't pay a psychologist who's practicing, for a fee? How can they? Because you'd be surprised to know, well, I'm sure you know, but I'm talking to our listeners. Most of the persons who suffer are low income earners, and they need help. And a lot of time they speak with what you call the village doctors, the village lawyers, who are say, let him or do this or do that, when this is not what they need to heal, to start the healing process. So where can they go? How can they find help?
All right. No, you're absolutely right, because a number of persons who suffer from the low income bracket, right? And so, as you mentioned before, you have the clinics, and at the clinics you have the mental health unit, you have the psychiatrists, and you also have psychologists at some of these institutions. They have it at the hospitals as well. If persons feel as if they want to reach out because they feel victimized, then there's also the victim services. And there is one in every parish. The victim services unit, it's totally free. You go in and you speak to someone. The Ministry of Health also has a suicide mental health hotline, and I think it is 800 New Life, right? And it's a 24-hour helpline, so persons can call and they speak with a psychologist, and if there's need for a referral, they will refer. But the psychologists are there to listen and to screen and to, see what is happening. So So that opportunity is also there for persons to reach out.
Mhm. And there are persons also who are living in denial.
Yes.
So we would want to encourage persons around them to just pay attention. And if you see something that doesn't look right,
yes,
seek help for this person. It can be a
reach
spouse,
out to someone.
it can be right, it can be a neighbor.
There are too many sad stories, Queen G. Even persons who work together, and you know that I'm always up and chirpy and bubbling. And for the past week, I've not been myself. And you leave me alone and say nothing. And then you hear that I committed suicide. And then you live with that regret. I just knew something was happening. And they live in regret. Just reach out, man. Ask somebody, how is your day? That makes a difference, How are you? A smile, a COVID hug. No, a COVID hug. But just have a heart for someone who you think, is going through a situation. Just have a heart to reach out. Because there are persons who are just dying. They go to work, they go to church, they're at home, they're bleeding, they're dying, they're yearning for a listening ear. Right? So be that person. Just be that person. It's important.
Wow. On that note, I mean, there's so much being said this evening. We will have to do a part 2 because right now, the way I'm feeling, we need to help. And this is my little way of helping. This is Fit FM's way of helping, to heal the people who are in tune. And guess what? When we do these lives, they are archived on Facebook and on YouTube. So we can share the links, send it to the persons who you think are in pain. Let them listen, encourage them to listen it. Share it in your social media space so that persons can come to the Fit FM Facebook or YouTube and listen, because we need for persons to heal. And it is through talking that we're able to express what we're feeling and get help. Simple advice. Sometimes it's some simple things that we need to hear. That sometimes we think it is something major that we need to hear. Maybe it's not. Yeah. So seek help, please. And if you're rejected, see it as a gift, because you may see it as misery and force yourself into that situation, and then in the latter end, you will suffer for it.
Yes.
You will suffer for it. Again, thank you, Doc. I want to say
absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I found him. I just saw him on LinkedIn, because everybody who knows me, I'm all over social media. I'm what you call social media tete. Yeah. Everywhere you find me. And that's how I express myself. That's how I help people. I share love quotes. I share relationship advice. I'm going to reach out to you for some too, Doc, because I share them in my space so that persons, can, whoever follows me can read them daily, because I believe it inspires people to feel better.
Awesome.
To feel better, right? So it's another love stories. We've come to the end of another one. And of course, I learned a lot. I'm sure you did. And as I was saying before, if you have a burning issue, send us a message here at Fit FM. Our numbers are 876-482-4944 or 876-317-1991. Or you can look for Gillian Larmond on Twitter or on Facebook. Send me a message. I'm also on Instagram. On Facebook, the page is Love Stories Queen G. Or just send a message to the Fit FM inbox. We will deal with it. If I don't deal with it, Dr. Asha will deal with it, or somebody else. We have a lot of pastors who come on this radio station every week. We will deal with it for you. We will get the relevant person, such as Dr. Smith, and say, listen, I know you're busy, but my sister or my brother need help. and we need to speak with you about it on the radio to help our sister or brother.
No problem.
Okay,
My
great.
pleasure.
Alrighty. All the best. Take good care of yourselves. And as I said before, you can find us at Fit FM on all social media platforms. Follow us, share the links, help someone along the way. If you want to follow me, or please do, right? At Gillian Larmond. That's Gillian Larmond. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, and on Facebook. It is Love Stories Queen G. Until next week, Thursday, love yourselves, love your neighbors, love your children, love your partner, and do your best. All right? Take good care. Leaving you with a beautiful music. Julia, big up yourself. Yeah, my dear. Romaine Virgo. Here we go.
You never know goodbyes, not a single word was said. No final kiss to seal any seams. I had no idea of the state